Welcome to Average Indian Joe. Thank you for watching my series, The Resilient Voices. Today we will be meeting a couple who has started a business 8 years back in music and dance industry. They have sacrificed a lot. They have sustained the balance between their home front as well as business. But it has been a very remarkable journey for both of them. Please welcome Saurabh and Amrita to our series as a guest. Amrita and Saurabh are not only my family friend but also my business partner. And I have seen them firsthand working so hard over the last several years. You will definitely enjoy their entrepreneurship journey, their resilience to drive the business, and their passion and towards giving the best education to kids as well as our Sparda students. Enjoy the conversation. Amrita and Saurabh, welcome to Average Indian Joe. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for welcoming us, Manish. Thanks.
This is one of the special voice and episode that I'm going to record because this is very close to my heart, right? This is about Spardha, and I really want my viewers to look at this story, listen to this story, and uh, and get inspiration and also understand what our core values are, right? And that's exactly why I thought of inviting you. Uh, you are my family friend and business partner too. So I thought it's a great opportunity to have this conversation. So I wanted to start with one question, right? So, did you ever imagine that as a couple you will start something together and turn into a multi-million organization in music industry, and uh, how inspired you were when you started?
Right. So let me take it up. This question, Manish. So basically, when we came together, when we got married, we were coming from two very different backgrounds and mindsets also. My orientation was, of course, academics plus business as well. I was trying multiple things in business at that time also. And Amrita is from a strictly hardcore academic background. So, frankly speaking, when we started our life together, we hardly imagined that something like this could happen to us. Uh, but as we kept on moving forward, and when Sparda happened to us, we, started realizing that many of the building blocks of Sparda are very much in line with, best friends of uh, Amrita. So I started requesting her that why don't you take a look at this? Why don't you take a look at that? And finally, we could figure out that many of her strengths, especially her, 15 years of teaching experience, her experience from, her PhD exposure, all of it started fitting very nicely into the, you know, ecosystem of Sparda. So we tried it out initially. Many of those things started working in our favor, and finally we decided that now it's time for us to, make it official. So that happened, and she finally got, took a role of CPO and started hiring teachers for us, and everything started working out very naturally. So finally, I would say that uh, now I can confidently say that the partnership is working very nicely. But yes, when I look back and think about those times when we started our life, it was not conceivable at that time.
So I think highly educated both of you, right? Saurabh, you are IITN, okay? Amrita, you completed your PhD in biotech, right? Now, working as a full time employee, high paying jobs, right? You quit those jobs 8 years back, almost 8 years back. I'm sure it must have been a very rough journey in the beginning, right, Amrita?
Yeah, definitely, Manish. I won't say that it was a cakewalk. Definitely, it had some ups and downs. So, it wasn't that it wasn't very easy. There were a lot of difficulties in the beginning, especially in especially in terms of the time, because when Saurav was working, uh, this job, this Spardha really required, was our third baby, and it really required a lot of time commitment. So with this time commitment, definitely there was no Saturday, Sundays, there were no weekends, or whenever the weekends were there, or if he comes from office a little early, he was again involved in the meetings. So definitely time constraint was one important factor which I think was not there. And yes, even monetary wise, definitely the financial security, that was being a woman, being a female, you always feel that you need to be more financially secure. So that was a few questions, but somehow the determination was always there. So seeing Saurabh's determination, and uh, moreover seeing what we were trying to give it to the society, or what impact we were going to do to the society, was always an inspiration to us, that yes, this is going to work and we will make it work.
So I think the uniqueness about this particular thing is, Saurabh and Amrita, you both actually uh, working in Spardha at one time where you did not have the paycheck from your full-time job, right? It must have been extremely difficult as a family,
Yes.
isn't it?
Mm.
So, and not many people will take that kind of risk, right? Because uh, you're pretty much betting on this to become successful. So I'm pretty sure there must be something was going in your mind, right, at that particular time, that okay, that you have a faith, and there was a purpose for something. There was a purpose, right? And but
Correct.
there was a faith also that what you're trying to do is absolutely remarkable, and you want to put all your efforts to make this successful, isn't that?
So, Manish, I would like to say that, such things happen to us because of the support we get from, everyone, including God. So for example, I got a lot of support from my friends who, you know, made me realize this fact that if you don't give up one thing, you will not be able to make the most out of the other thing. And also, these calls you take when you get an inner call, I would say. So over the period of time after trying it out for many years, there was a time when I had only one choice. Either I give up the business or I give up the job. It was literally impossible to carry on with both, because you understand, right? In a startup, especially at the early stage, if you don't focus, you will end up burning all your cash. And that was the state, I was in. Now, cash was, I would say a constraint, and I had to take a call that if I leave the job, which is taking care of my day-to-day needs, then we'll further go down. But at least, you know, after few years, or maybe after some time, I was very clear that things will start settling down, because you could see that this is the area where you can, focus 100%, and you will be able to, lift the business to the next level, and the cash issues will be solved. So yes, of course, inner call, support from the business, a strong belief about the future of the business. All these factors actually helped me take this decision. And I had to convince Amrita also, frankly speaking. And we took this decision step by step. I was more, my decision of joining the business should come first, because I was the one who could have created the maximum impact. And then once we started getting some traction, once we started getting some, funding also in terms of the seed funding from, early stage investors, then I requested Amrita that, okay, now you can also, jump into it full time. So it came step by step. Was difficult, of course, but yes, it was, I would say,
I
calculated.
feel that the step-by-step strategy really worked, and that could, take care of our expenses, which were day-to-day expenses, and also like to make up our mind to develop, to build Spardha.
Amrita, you are a PhD holder in biotech, professor in microbiology in Pune University, right? That's a very noble job, right? That you do. And you come into Spardha as a chief people officer, right? That transition must have been different, right? In your
Yes.
some in some ways. But at the
Yes.
same time, it must have had a lot of learnings which you must have used, in this role in Spardha. Would you like to talk about it, please?
Yes, definitely, Manish. I would say that I am a PhD in sciences. So first of all, I should let you know my day-to-day work in sciences were to design experiments. So in a course of like 4.5 years, when I completed my PhD, this was the duration. And in this duration, I think 1,000 experiments we do day and night, and then we wait for their results. So after doing a lot of experiments, not every experiment was successful. There were a lot of experiments which failed. You know. Also, I should let you know a negative result in PhD is also a result, because through the negative result we come to know why this did not happen, and then that gives us a step to design the next experiment, right? So I feel I strongly believe whosoever is a PhD learns patience and perseverance, right? So the persistent to do work until even after difficulties, and until unless you get a result, a success. That is what PhD is. So I feel that in my entrepreneur journey, this PhD helped me a lot. I took the right attitude towards making a business, towards making this whole concept of Spardha, because we started with a lot of experiments. The products were a lot of products. We started with this clubhouses, then we went door to door, then we opened a kind of shop, some offline works were there, and then ultimately what Spardha is today is after so many experimentations. So I feel PhD gave me a lot of patience. It taught me a lot of patience and the perseverance to um, to get into this entrepreneurship, right? Apart from this, also I would like to let you know that after my PhD, I became the professor. I was a teacher, and taught almost 10 to 12 years in university and colleges. I made sure that the whole knowledge of whatever 15 years of my knowledge of being a teacher, I implemented in hiring the teachers here, because I strongly believe that I understand the persona of a teacher, like what the teacher thinks, what exactly the teacher should be, what kind of teacher we should hire. There might be many a times we feel there are a lot of very good musicians, but are they the right teachers? Because we are making a platform which is educating, or which is promoting music to kids, and who are basically in the range of 5 to 15 years of age. So I feel that that uh, the right teacher, I understand what exactly are the right teacher, and that is how I started hiring the right kind of teachers, which are the pillars of Spardha.
Teaching music, teaching pedagogy is very, very important, right? Most of the kids lose interest if they don't have right teachers, right? You being professor and understanding what it takes to become a good teacher and making an impact is, I'm pretty sure, sets Spardha apart from their competitors, especially when it comes to hiring teachers.
Yes, hiring teachers and also retaining them.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I would like to add to it that, first of all, understanding the right mental attitude, persona of the teacher, of course, is the core of everything. And on the top of it, what Amrita was able to create, of course, with the help of everyone in the team, was, you know, hiring is good, but how can we take a very good care of each and every teacher at every level? Going as much as, like, if anybody needs any personal guidance or even personal financial help or personal mentorship, um, during their tough times, she is connected, and that makes a difference, because that creates a vibe in the company that we care for our teachers, not only when they are in their sessions, but also when they are outside the sessions in their personal life. And of course, with the help of a very good teaching program, a very good tech platform, everything, all of it, you know, came together to create a very good environment for our teachers, because of which we are able to clearly differentiate ourselves from any other platform in this space, for sure.
You are truly in a noble business. Sparda is truly in a noble business. Uh, because what you're teaching is a life skill for many people, like whether it's a dance or music, right? How significant do you think having this life skill uh, in shaping up a character or someone's life altogether?
Yes. First of all, Manish, this question is very close to my heart. It's a very good question. That's the core mission of a company also. The mission is to help everyone in their all-round development, not only student but also teachers. But let me give it a start from this point that music and dance are creative subjects. They help you become more creative, more confident, more focused, more disciplined. They help you in your mental wellness. They help you as a stress buster. You know, anything you think about uh, in terms of personal development, music and dance has an impact. So I would say that the kind of impact which is happening in the life of so many students all over the world is completely transformational. You can think about it that in today's time, if you are more creative, you will be able to become more successful because so many things are changing so fast. Unless you are creative, how will you be able to adapt? So I strongly believe, and we strongly believe as a brand that music and dance has more impact than even academics can create in the life of everyone. That is one part of what Sparda is building, one session, one batch at a time. The other angle I would say is also equally important, and that angle is empowering our teachers, to generate a very good financial security for their family while they are at their home, while they are taking care of their kids, they're taking care of their parents, while they can not travel outside, they can get out of their jobs which they never wanted to do. All of it is also happening. So you can say that for more than 600 plus teachers, this is also becoming a very strong source of income generation, which eventually will help them pursue their passion. They'll be much more happier. They will be able to create a way bigger impact all over the world. Um, and all of it is happening. So, yes, I would say that from both the sides, we strongly believe that, yeah, the impact is very, very strong, and we are completely sold out towards the cause.
So the what fascinates me is the difference that you guys are making, right? I think Amrita, you and Saurabh, you don't have to be a music legend to start the business, right? I mean, obviously, Sonu Nigam has his company, or Shankar Mahadevan has his own school, right? You don't need to have that face, right? What you need is a purpose, is attitude, and a culture in the company, right? In an organization, and a fundamental part is care, right? You care about student, you care about people to learn those things uh, without boundaries, right? There are so many things that each student can actually do in their life, right? And I know you guys have a lot of different things that that allows student to stay on that path and continue their journey, right? I'll move a little bit away from the Spardat's culture and core value to one fundamental question to you, purely from a edtech business standpoint, right? With the recent startup struggles in edtech business, right? And it's maybe because of certain malpractices with different companies in the world or in India as well. What do you think sets Sparda apart and has contributed to its success? What is the reason?
Yes. So, Manish, I would like to say that the attitude towards money, attitudes towards optimization, uh, is at the center stage. Uh, for all of us, all our leaders, our tech leaders, our marketing leaders, our sales leaders, our success leaders. Everyone is trying to make the most out of the resources we have got with us, and we are not, uh, you know, expanding at the cost of, those additional resources which we can get from the market, by spending money. We are thinking about how we can become better at whatever we are doing. And if we can become more and more frugal, if we can improve the unit economics, then I would say that, we can build a very sustainable business, and that is the core of what we are doing. And that is what differentiate us from most of the platforms, especially in these tough times where funding is not that easy to be received, because unless you build a profitable company, you will not be able to get, funding. So I would say that, I am getting support from all our leaders, and we are able to pass on this message very clearly to all our leaders and even to the team members, that let's make the most out of the resources we have got, and that's the only way we can move forward. This mindset and the acceptance of this mindset from the top to the bottom, that I would say is the biggest differentiator for all of us. And I'm sure that we'll be successful using this approach.
See, that's the difference. You don't need Shah Rukh Khan, you don't need Madhuri Dixit's photographs or presence to do the advertisement, right? Because that's where you've been smart to use money effectively, right? And the marketing budget effectively to make an impact with your best teachers and best testimony students, right? To use as a marketing vehicle.
We want to show how the common people are doing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just common people, and we want to just show how common people perceive it, how they take it, how they learn it, and how they produce it, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think you don't need to have a highly paid model to do the advertisement, and that's exactly the example that you have set in this industry. Okay, I'll move to a very interesting question here. You have two wonderful boys. I was present for your second boy's birth,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and they're clearly aware of their third, so their parents' third baby, Sparda, right? So, how do you balance that at home?
Yeah, so Spardha being the third baby, I feel the siblings have to be very much cooperative and indulging with each other. That is very important. So we have always put Saksham and Sarthak, both my sons, along with Spardha. They have grown up together, and they are very much involved in it. We believe that both of them, they we believe that they are also taking much advantage from the platform. They also participate in all the um, music concerts, the open mic activities. What we do in all the programs, they participate. In fact, they have been used. We use them as guinea pigs also, because whatever experiments we do, whatever product we release, we want that how the kids take. So we get a very direct, persona of suggestions from them, that how do the kids will perceive it. So this is how we involve them in all the activities, in whatever parties are there. If there is some activity, some party, or there is some other engagement, we make sure that both my boys, they come up, and they are a part of Spardha. Definitely, they are definitely part of Spardha family. And even if I'm working from home, Saurav works from home, so they are very much involved, and they understand that what's going on. So that is we feel that they have to be involved in it, and they understand that yes, we are into building and developing the third baby, so they have to definitely take part of it in it.
Thank you for sharing, Amrita. So, people often say that founder's journey is a lonely journey. Okay, and I truly believe that. But with Amrita being your co-founder, life partner, and also your other co-founders are your best friends, and leadership team is your best friend. How has been your journey so far in Sparda? And what advice do you like to give to new startup founders as to what is the importance of co-founder?
I would like to say that, yes, I agree to it that founder's journey is a lonely journey. Uh, in my case, it was lonely only for a very short while. You know, it was only till that time when, when we reached to a point where I was able to convince Samta to participate. I started getting support. She was supporting before that as well from the day one, but as a co-founder, I started getting her support. And then fortunately, frankly speaking, I consider myself to be one of the luckiest founders because, all my close buddies who were with me throughout my, early stage career growth, and even in my college also, they all started joining me one by one, starting with Rikhil, then Manish, you, Pawan, and then we got Saurabh Tomar, all the code leaders. So the journey, which was supposed to be a lonely journey, uh, became full of, fun. Uh, Now we are taking all the decisions together, and I don't feel that there is any such feeling for me now. Uh, Again, because of all the amazing chemistry which we all have between all our co-founders and co-leaders, Manish. Um, but yes, of course, when it comes to giving message to new founders, I would like to quote my own example that if you are alone, even if you are very, very sharp, uh, nobody will be able to do everything. And even if you can manage, it will be extremely stressful. So getting the right co-founders is strategic. It's very, very important for the success of any startup for that matter. If you can get that, it would always be preferable as compared to you operating all by yourself.
Thanks, Saurav. I think I agree with you. This is my second business, and I had my first failed startup as well. And that failed startup was lonely for me. Okay. Whereas my two successful business are with co-founders. So that is the reason I asked this question. You had a seed round 4 years back. And obviously, in this 4 years, you focused on certain KPIs, correct? And you have been successful in managing those KPIs. What advice would you like to give to people who are actually seeking a seed funding right now? Amrita, you can also answer. What are the things that startup guys should look at it?
So, Mani, I would like to say that um, first of all, things are very different at different places. If you are raising fund in India versus if you are raising fund outside India, there are two different things. Since I belong to India, my entire experience of fundraising is from Indian market. I would like to highlight my experience from Indian market. Most of the focus is on revenue generating startups. So if you really want to raise funds, can we come to a stage where there is at least some traction and there is some revenue on the table? If that happens, then if you can showcase that the business has a large TAM, then of course we will get seed fund. Uh, if the concept is strong, if there is some traction enough to show some kind of revenue, then of course you should be able to get funding as long as the TAM is large.
But once you get the funding, what kind of KPIs we should sustain?
So I was coming to that. So see, KPIs, again, there are two things which are important. I would say the trend also over the last 2 years have changed big time. Initially, when we raised fund, most of the focus was on growth, and there was hardly, any focus on the burn. I won't say that nobody was looking at it, but more focus was towards how fast you can grow, even if you may be burning money. But now, over the period of last 2 years, when so many companies died down because of the dearth of cash, now everybody has started, focusing on the sustainable aspect of the business. Can you sustain and grow? Can you become profitable? Do you have the sight of exactly when you will become profitable? So our focus was also like that. We kept one eye on how fast we can grow. We were doubling every year, and the other eye on, can we conserve cash, and in case we don't get fund the next round, we should always have enough cash so that we keep moving forward sustainably.
And experiment also, right? During that process, also do the experimentation, right? Purely
Experimentation
from
of
yes,
yes,
getting new product launch or new line of business and all those stuff.
correct. So I mean, I would consider that when we talk about growth, growth also has two pillars. Growth which is coming from your existing products, and then At the same time, we have to keep trying new products. Like, you know that we started with music. We started with music only in India. Then we started scaling outside India. Then, we thought that, okay, why not launch dance? Then we kept on experimenting with dance for as long as, I would say, 12 to 18 months, in a closed room with just few people. And then finally we are scaling dance also. So yes, you're right. I completely agree.
So Saurabh, I think one of the thing that I definitely noticed that we grew every year double,
Yes.
and it's not a coincidence. It is a hard work. It is a strategic decisions capability, and it also means our employees or our partners have given more than above and they gave more above and beyond in their job, right? And they didn't consider this as a job but as a passion,
Yes.
right? So I wanted to ask that question to Amrita, that what was the magic, right? What did you focus during these 4 years to increase this productivity, especially from employee standpoint?
So, Manish, we tried our level best to be very personal with each and every employee. It's not only that the monetary part, definitely the monetary part is definitely taken care of each and every employee, and it happens in each and every company. But at Spardha, we make sure that we reach to each and every employee on a very personal ground. There are a lot of times when we feel that yes, I should also quote this, that at Spardha around 60% of our employees are women, and we know that they have lot many things, their work life balance have to be there. So I, being a woman myself, I understand that it's not only work, there are other responsibilities also which are very close to us, and we have to go ahead with them, right? Yeah, definitely for each and every individual, work is very important, and that is bread and butter to us. But family is also important, and we have taken this thing very very crucially. We make sure that our employees, they are this is an employee centric company. We tell each and everyone, and whatever, if they need any kind of medical assistance, any kind of leaves, or even we sometimes go out of the box and help our employees. So that is how I feel that Spardha has made a difference. We connect. I myself feel connected to each and every employee, because I take their interviews. The final, the decisions are taken by myself. And so each and every employee, what are they feeling? What are they going through? We are around 250 employees with us, but I'm very proud to say that I'm well connected to around 250 employees of us. So this is how we make sure that we are involved with each other. Even if one person goes, it's not only that if an attrition is there, it's a loss to Spardha, but emotionally feel connected to them. So I should know the reason, that what has happened, why this decision was there. Definitely growth of a person is definitely important, and they should move ahead if they find growth. But else, we make sure that we are providing whatever help Spardha can do to an individual, to our employees. They are family to us.
And Manish, I would like to add one point. One very important thing which I have learned personally is that, are we using, uh, this mission which we have built for ourselves? Are we spreading the message to everyone? And that is I would say that's the thing which, with the help of all our leaders, first of all, our leaders are all very clear about exactly what impact we are going to create, or what impact we are creating in the lives of thousands of students and hundreds of teachers. And then we are making each and every employee realize that whatever you are doing, whether you are in human resources, or whether you are in finance, whether you're in sales or success, or delivery, any role which you are playing, in one way or the other, eventually it is creating an impact. So their realization and the connection they feel towards the purpose, and the understanding about they contributing towards it on a day-to-day basis, that gives them a purpose, a connection, which is hard to find elsewhere. And of course, because of that, I feel that we are able to retain more employees and keep them excited also, all the time.
We also have related to that, right? You also have a partnership, right? So you have partnership with Radio Mirchi as well, right? So how does that play a bigger role in your mission, and what impact do you think it will make not only just in Indian market but also in international market, especially United States?
See, first of all, any company, if they are interested for their growth, eventually they have to create a brand. Of course, branding will make things easy from both the sides. More customers would like to join you and learn from you. More teachers and more employees would like to work with you because you have a brand. Now, we will build a brand. We are building a brand. We are in the process of building a name for a company, but something as big as let's say Radio Mirchi, which is well known to especially the parents of all the students we are serving, not only India but outside India. That creates a very good value for us because they are with us. And we have very successfully integrated them in our journeys as well. Frankly speaking, if you see our musical journeys, then after completing 12 months, you will be launched on the radio, not only in India, but also in US, in the New York station. So our ability, first of all, of course, we were lucky enough to get the right player on board in terms of Mirchi, and then our ability to integrate them in our journeys and in our products made things very different for us. The very recent example is Sparda School Idol, where with their partnership we could create magic in cities like Bangalore, Pune, and Delhi, and whosoever participated was really I would say you were amazed by the kind of experience they got at that level of events where we did not charge them anything, and the kids could also participate, and they got too much of exposure, a lot of coverage, a lot of glamour was there. So I mean, it adds a lot of value, and we are trying to make the most out of it. It still is just the beginning. Eventually it will become way bigger, and will help us become better as a brand.
I'm pretty convinced that companies grow because they don't remain uh, s- uh, like a stagnant, right? Because if you don't think, you will not be able to make progress in terms of reaching out to more crowd, right? More people. Uh, One very personal question, Amrita, Saurabh. Now in this journey, I'm pretty sure you both are busy with Sparda as well as with kids and what kind of sacrifice have you made during this journey? I mean, do you guys get time to talk to each other at least?
Yes, definitely yes. Uh, Sacrifice. I should say that we have Saurabh, our both of us are generally involved. Definitely, time is a little constraint, which we feel that giving though we take out time for each other, definitely we make sure, and we catch up on breakfast. That is the best thing. So early in the morning we just hop out for breakfast or a tea at Kunnu Ka Chai or Kunnu Ki Chai or some other joint. So we make sure that we take a breakfast because
Movies?
yes, and movies, definitely yes. We both love movies, and we enjoy watching movies. So movies and breakfast are the times that we generally take out time and we go. Otherwise, apart from this, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Let me add a very different point perspective to it, Manish. And it's a very serious one also. See what happens is that so first of all, when you focus on something so much that you literally ignore everything else, and that's the only way you can move forward. So even when we, if I go 8 years back, when we started this opportunity, and when we started focusing on that, focus on business means less focus on your job, uh, which means eventually the kind of growth and impact you can create in your job, you will not be able to get that. You will not be able to do that because there is something else which you are doing. So I would say that the sacrifice is, of course, well thought of, but it is known that you have to sacrifice immediate instant gratification in terms of money, in terms of growth, in terms of whatever you can do in your job, and then doing two full-time jobs where the other job has no foundation of how much you need to invest, it completely leaves you exhausted, and you are not left with any time for that matter. And when you don't have the sight exactly when that is going to end or become, better, then it is very stressful, especially during the initial years. Now, once things start getting okay, especially, at this stage, where at least we are able to, we got some funding, we are growing, things are looking good. Still, uh, the the risk which we are living with, every day in terms of, businesses are getting, uh, I would say, the risks are coming from all the directions. Right? We are serving international market, where even if one complaint can come from a student, can take us in a different direction. The legal, the compliance, the tech disruptions which are happening, living with everything, and managing your day to day. So I would say, all of it is part of the sacrifice which not only us but any founder will have to live with. And at the end of the day, if God's grace is there, then we will be successful. Otherwise,
So that
yeah.
that keeps you awake. That keeps you awake at night, right? All the time.
So I mean, I want to take some more time and answer this question. That what keeps me awake. So first of all, yes, there are too many things to worry about, but gradually I learned from my spiritual journey also that at the end of the day, what you can do is basically the input, the effort. You can focus on your effort. You can do everything in your control, and you don't have no control on what outcome will come out of it. So if you keep worrying about what outcome will come out of it, what may happen down the line from all the directions, then you will lose out, you will become very stressful. And that is what I've learned, that let's stop worrying about what can possibly go wrong or what will be the outcome. Let's focus our all our energies towards what best we can do, as a team, and let's leave the result in the hands of God. And I think with that attitude, I feel much more composed, cool, and I strongly believe that that's a very, very good strategy for founders and for everyone for that matter.
Last question. I'm gonna say, Sparda School of Music and obviously dance now is the fastest growing company in India at this point of time in this particular field. You're growing year by year with a rocket speed. Is that something that you are intentionally doing to keep the legacy over the period of time? So what's in future, Saurabh and Amrita? What's your vision here? Is the legacy, creating a legacy, is what you're aiming for, or do something else with this organization?
So I mean, Amrita can answer her side. I'll just start and hand it over to Amrita. Manish, from my side, as a founder, I am comfortable giving rest of my whole life to this cause. The cause is so exciting. The kind of impact we can create in the life of millions of students worldwide and hundreds and thousands of teachers. The impact is unbelievable. So we would love to keep moving forward, and we would love to run it for 100 years from now and more, of course. And thoroughly enjoying the process. That's from my side. Over to Amrita about what you would like to add.
Yeah, definitely. We are trying to build a legacy. We will take it ahead, and there are still many things which we feel that which should be there. Will be a part of Sparda. Um, Taking care of especially challenged people, the special people. So those kids need to be, catered. Employees also, those employees need to be catered. So lot many things are there which we plan, and we feel that this will not stop. This is unstoppable, and definitely music is going to give, we are going to bring a change in the society through music, definitely.
As part of this series, right, when I started thinking about starting this series, The Resilient Voices, the first couple that came in my mind was you, obviously.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The main reason for choosing you as my the first choice was always like, I've seen you dedicating your life to this organization, not just from a financial standpoint, but also set going for a purpose, going for some mission or vision, right? And that's the uniqueness, right? You are creating impact in this society, and that impact you're doing it with a lot of sacrifice, right? And lot of planning as well to a certain extent, right? Amrita, Saurabh, thank you for giving your time today. It has been an extreme pleasure for me to have conversation with you both.
Thanks for having us,
Thank you,
Tanush.
Manish.
Thanks for
It's a
your
pleasure to
time.
be here, yes, and talk to you and share our feelings and, understand that how to propagate that, how definitely music can bring a difference to everybody's life.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It was a great joy for me to sit in front of them, both of them. I've been working with them for last several years, and today was very different while talking to them. As Saurabh said, this has not been his lonely journey because he has his life partner as a co-founder and a few friends who have been working with him shoulder to shoulder. His vision, his mission is driving every single day towards achieving something which is remarkable. These are the stories that we're going to capture in our series, The Resilient Voices. So if you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, writer, actor, artist, or social worker, please fill up the form in in our description box, and we would love to have you as my guest in this series. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next voices. Thank you for being part of Average Indian Joe. Good night.